Dear child, what you're feeling is not a mistake. That quiet knowing deep within you, that gentle, unshakable certainty, didn't come from your imagination. It wasn't created by longing or dreams. It didn't come from anything you tried to force or figure out. It was given to you. It came from something sacred, something higher, something eternal. It came from heaven. In moments when your mind tried to make sense of it, your spirit stayed calm. When doubt crept in and you questioned yourself, something deeper held on. Because before your heart even knew how to understand it, heaven whispered truth into your soul. And that truth never left. You were chosen, not because you were perfect, not because you had it all together, not because you were the most deserving by the world's standards, but because God saw you. Because love called your name. Because before time began, your name was already written in a story only heaven could see. This story already included him, the one your heart senses. And now, the angels are helping your spirit remember what your soul already knows. He is not just a man you desire. He is not just a dream. He is not just a hope. He is your divine assignment. And you were not chosen at random. You were set apart, called, positioned with care and purpose. You might still ask, why me? And the answer is simple. Because only you carry the softness that eases him. Only you hold the strength that will support him when his own strength fades. Only you have walked through enough fire to love him without fear. Your love doesn't demand. It doesn't take. It gives. It covers. It heals. You don't need him to make you whole. You bring wholeness into the space between you. Your presence is not ordinary. It carries weight. It carries meaning. It is prophetic. You were made for more than a moment. You were made for a mission. And this connection is not a fairy tale. It is destiny. You are not chasing love. You are walking toward what's already been aligned. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt lonely or confusing, has been part of the preparation. This is not just about romance. It's about purpose. You weren't created to be an extra in someone else's story. You were shaped to carry a sacred presence, one that would align with the man God chose for you long before either of you knew each other existed. Being a wife is not only about being loved, it's about being trusted. Trusted with a heart, with a calling, with a partnership that carries heaven's signature. Everything about you, your intuition, your sensitivity, your ability to listen without judgment and love without fear, was crafted with him in mind. You are not here to complete him. You are here to complement him. You fill the spaces he doesn't know how to reach. Not so he can rely on you, but so you both can rise. Even now, even if he doesn't fully understand what's happening inside him, his spirit feels you. There are moments when he aches for something he can't name. Moments when he feels pulled toward change or restless without cause. That's you. That's the pull of destiny. That's the echo of your spirit calling his. And heaven is responding. You don't have to chase him. You don't have to prove your worth. Heaven is drawing him to you, not by accident, but by design. Every unexplainable shift he's going through, every dream he can't fully understand, every longing he can't place, it's leading him home, to you. And while you may feel like you're just waiting, you're not. You are being prepared. This season of waiting isn't empty. It's sacred. It's strategic. It's heaven's way of shaping both of you. Heaven sees your heart, even when you feel forgotten. And God hasn't missed a single detail. This time is not stillness. It is transformation. He is not standing still. He is being changed. He is letting go of what would have hurt you. He is being healed from wounds that would have bled into your love. God is not just sending someone, He is sending someone ready. Just like you had to be broken in order to be rebuilt, He is also learning how to stand. How to lead, how to protect, how to love deeply and with intention. He is being softened in the right ways, humbled where pride once ruled, awakened where he once felt numb. And none of this is your burden. You don't have to control the pace of his growth. You don't have to question if he's changing fast enough. That's not your job. That's God's work. And God knows what he's doing. The angels are already guiding his steps. They are moving him with care, not with urgency, but with purpose. You will meet at the right time, the moment when both of you are strong enough to carry what heaven has prepared. There will be days when doubt feels louder than faith. Days when the silence makes you wonder if you got it all wrong. When the peace you once felt seems distant. When the waiting feels like failure. But don't give up. Don't let go. Don't stop believing. You're not crazy for hoping. You're not weak for believing. You're not behind. You are right on time. This part of the story is not about visible change. It's about deep roots. God's silence is not rejection. It is trust. When he stops repeating himself, it's because you're meant to move forward with what you already heard. He's teaching you to believe without needing constant signs. Because the love he's sending you will also require quiet trust. If you knew how close it really is, you would rest. You wouldn't panic. Even when nothing seems to be shifting on the outside, something is always shifting inside you, around you, and inside him. The greatest faith is sometimes found in staying when everything in you wants to give up. And you've done that. You've shown up with hope, even when your heart was tired. You've chosen to stay tender, to keep your heart open, to keep walking in the dark because something inside you refuses to let go of the promise. And God sees it. He honors it. He says, I see your quiet strength. I see your private battles. I see every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose faith over fear. I am not slow. I am intentional. I am finishing what I began in you. This waiting is not wasted. You are not sitting in silence hoping to be found. You are preparing like someone who was already found, already chosen, already set apart. Every choice to heal, to forgive, to speak life over yourself, it's all part of your preparation. You're not becoming someone new to earn love. You are returning to who you truly are. You are shedding fear, insecurity, and lies, not to impress Him, but to reflect what God already saw in you. The right man will not be drawn to a perfect version of you. He will be drawn to your wholeness, to the peace that came after your storm. He will see the strength in your stillness, the light in your eyes, the quiet confidence in your walk. He will not see the woman who questioned her worth. He will see the woman who knows it. And when He sees you, He will recognize you, not because of how you look, not because of what you say, but because of how your presence silences His fears. Because when you enter the room, something in Him will exhale. You will feel like home, not because He understands every detail, but because His soul already knows you. He won't need to analyze you. He won't have to figure you out. He will just know. And that knowing will not come from pressure or performance. It will come from peace. Divine timing will open His eyes, not your effort, not your appearance, not your strategy. Timing. And when it happens, it won't be loud, it won't be dramatic, it will be simple, unmistakable, peaceful. His heart will say, this is her, not a possibility, not an option, but the one, and you will feel it too. Not because He checks every box, but because He brings peace, stillness, safety. When you look into His eyes, your spirit will say, yes, this is it. And that knowing won't fade. It will grow. You won't have to convince Him. You won't have to chase Him. He will come with clarity, with recognition, with peace, not confusion, not hesitation, just quiet certainty. And something deeper than words will draw Him close. Something holy, something only God could write. And when heaven opens His eyes, there will be no resistance, no delay, no doubt, only the confirmation of what your spirit already knew. And yes, before the real thing arrives, the false often comes first, not to harm you, but to teach you, to help you see clearly, to sharpen your discernment. Sometimes the wrong one will sound right, say all the right things, and even seem to answer your prayers. But something will feel off, something will feel forced, and the Holy Spirit will whisper, not this one. If you ignore it, the unrest will grow. Because real love never drowns out the voice of God. Letting go of the wrong person can hurt more than never meeting anyone at all. But it's in those moments, those hard, painful releases, that God makes space for the real thing. Every closed door is love. Every blocked path is protection. When God says no, it's because He's making room for what's worth the wait. The angels can tell the difference between almost and appointed. They rejoice when you walk away from what only looked like a promise, because they know what's still coming, and it's worth every no. This love story isn't just for your joy. It's for God's glory. He doesn't create marriages just for romance. He creates holy covenants, ones that shift atmospheres, break generational patterns, and reflect His love on earth. The man God has chosen for you is not just someone to walk beside. He is someone to build with, to pray with, to lead with, to stand in the gap with. You weren't just chosen for love. You were chosen for impact. Your union carries a mission, a purpose, a sacred assignment that can only be fulfilled together. You will awaken courage in Him. He will restore softness in you. And together, you will release something into the world that neither of you could carry alone. That's why the enemy fought your love life so hard. Because this isn't ordinary. This is holy. This is sacred. This is spiritual. And heaven is preparing it perfectly. Your future marriage will be more than just a relationship. It will be a sacred meeting point between heaven and earth. The world might call it compatibility, but God calls it alignment. And when the two of you align the way He intended, something powerful will happen. Light will begin to pour out of all the broken places life once tried to damage. Healing will rush in through every crack. The past will no longer weigh you down, because this love will be the kind that was written by God Himself. He didn't just design you to love each other. He designed your union for something greater. It will reflect His heart. It will reflect His kingdom. And people who see it will know it could only be Him. But before this kind of love could enter your life, you had to be prepared for it. You had to be broken open, not to be harmed, but to be refined, to be softened, to be reshaped. God needed to stretch your heart wide enough to carry something deeper than anything you'd ever known. The relationships that didn't work out weren't a waste. They were lessons. They were part of the shaping. You weren't being rejected. You were being rerooted. Every heartbreak, every moment of silence, every unanswered question carried hidden wisdom. God was present the whole time. Even when it felt like He was far away, He was right there, training your spirit to recognize the real thing. There were moments when you mistook company for connection, attention for affection, effort for alignment. You thought something was love just because it eased your loneliness, but it didn't hold your soul. And God, in His mercy, showed you that not everything good is from Him. Not everything available is meant to be accepted. Some doors had to close, even while you were begging for them to stay open. He allowed the endings because He had a beginning in mind that was better than what you could see. He was protecting you, not punishing you. You don't need to hide your story. You don't have to feel ashamed of your past. The pain you've survived didn't make you weak. It made you ready. It softened the hard places that would have pushed love away. It created space inside of you for something slower, something safer, something that can be trusted. The scars on your heart don't mean you failed. They're evidence that mercy touched you. The angels saw your tears and didn't stop them, not because they didn't care, but because they knew you weren't falling apart. You were being remade. You were becoming the kind of person who could hold a love that comes from heaven. And when that love comes, it won't be loud. It won't arrive with fireworks or signs in the sky. It will be quiet, but something in your soul will shift. You'll walk into it like you've known it all along. You'll meet Him, and everything inside of you will settle. The timing will make sense. All the delays, all the waiting, all the aching will suddenly feel holy. You'll realize none of it was random. Every part was leading here. He won't come into your life to confuse you or overwhelm you. He'll come to walk with you through it. He won't ask you to chase Him or perform for Him. He will feel like peace, like home, like air. He won't speak to your wounds. He'll speak to your soul. He won't try to impress your mind. He'll settle your spirit. You won't have to shrink or explain yourself. You won't need to manage His perception of you or earn His affection. This love won't come with games or roles or masks. It will honor your connection with God. It will fit the space you've been preparing in your heart. And in His presence, you won't feel smaller. You'll feel more fully yourself. No pretending, no proving, just peace, just truth. God says, I have arranged this meeting. I've timed it to the moment. You won't have to look for Him. I'll bring Him to you. And when you meet, you will know, this is what I was waiting for. But now, your faith has to shift into something deeper. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've asked, cried, wrestled, and waited. But now, heaven is giving you confirmation. Not to keep doubting, not to keep searching, but to start responding. This is not the time for striving or strategy. It's the time for surrender. It's time to say yes before you see it. Yes to being chosen. Yes to being loved in divine timing. Yes to walking like someone who believes God meant what He said. You don't need to look back anymore. You don't need to question if you missed it. You don't need to worry that you're not ready. There's nothing more to prove. You're not someone hoping to be picked. You've already been chosen. You're not maybe. You're a bride. You're already spoken for. You've been sealed with a promise from heaven. That truth is what you must stand on now. When you believe it deeply, peace will return to your steps. The waiting will no longer feel like a test. It will feel like part of your becoming. This season was never about making yourself worthy of love. It was about becoming the person who recognizes real love when it comes. Every prayer you've prayed has been heard. Every tear has been collected. Your desire hasn't been wasted. Your faithfulness hasn't gone unnoticed. Even if you can't see the change yet, everything in the spiritual realm has already shifted. The angels are quiet now, not because they've stopped working, but because their assignment is complete. You heard God's promise. You believed it, and now they watch with joy as you walk it out in faith. Your love story didn't begin the day you meet him. It began the moment God whispered his name into your spirit. Every moment since then, every hard season, every breakthrough, every quiet day was part of that story. The ache you felt wasn't a void. It was your heart getting into position. The waiting wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You weren't falling behind. You were walking in rhythm with heaven. Now you've become the kind of woman who doesn't just receive love, she multiplies it. Because you waited with trust. Because you stayed with God when everything was still. Because you let him touch the places inside of you that no one else could reach. And now you're not just hoping, you're carrying the presence of fulfillment. You're ready, not just to be loved, but to recognize a love that carries heaven's fragrance. Soon, something will click. A simple moment, a glance, a presence that feels prophetic, and you'll know deep down, this is what I've carried in faith for so long, and it won't come with striving. You won't need to prove anything. There will be no fear, just peace, just confirmation, just the quiet, sure awareness that God finishes what he starts. God says, this is not a delayed dream. This is my perfect timing. What I planted in your heart, I'm bringing into season now. Walk forward with peace. Everything I promised, I will fulfill with power. You're not just waiting anymore. You are becoming. You are growing into the promise itself. This season didn't leave you where it found you. It didn't just stretch your patience. It woke up your soul. The woman you were when this journey began was filled with questions and longing. But the woman standing here now holds wisdom, clarity, and quiet strength. You've gone from asking to knowing. You're no longer sitting on the sidelines of your own life, waiting to be chosen. You stand in the center of your calling, already chosen, already claimed by heaven. The waiting no longer feels like a weakness. It has become your power. You don't just believe in the promise, you are the living evidence of it. You've learned to love from abundance, not from lack. What's coming isn't just a reward for surviving, it's the unveiling of what was always yours. And you will receive it, not with anxiety, but with calm, not with doubt, but with peace. Because the biggest shift wasn't in your circumstances, it was in you. You no longer beg God to move. You trust that He already is. You don't ask if you're ready. You carry yourself like someone who is. God says you've entered a new place now. You're not a girl hoping anymore. You are a woman who knows. And when the door opens, it won't surprise you. It will feel like it was always meant for you because it matches who you've become.